Now that I've explained some of the reasons why this is a valuable assignment, let's go through the process of actually finding an article for doing the assignment. Let's imagine that you're particularly interested in Walter Ong's theory of orality, and you want to find a good article for analyzing some of his ideas. So here's a useful, not the only way, but here's a useful way to get started. First of all, as you can see, I've gone to the library's main page, and of course you can recognize that immediately with all of the various links that the library has. We're going to start actually by going down to the journal articles and database link, which is down here on the right hand side. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on that link, and that will take us to a listing of all of the SFU library databases. Naturally, as you can see, there's nothing showing immediately. There's an alphabetized opportunity down here that you can follow, but there's also a drop-down list right here. So let's take the drop-down list and let's choose, for our purposes, communication. So once we've got the communication chosen as a subject area, we can browse. And what's going to happen is that you're going to see a list of different databases will appear, and these databases, of course, are all relevant to the study of communication. Naturally, I should point out, you'll notice right away near the top, as one of the so-called top resources, here you can see where it says top resources, is sociological abstracts. That gives you some idea that you don't have to limit yourself to looking through the communication databases, but in fact you may, depending on the topic that you're researching, find it useful to look at some of the other databases as well. If I go down a little further here, you'll notice also that there are business source databases, public policy databases, and one of my favorites, because I find a lot of stuff in my own research, is the Humanities and Social Science Index. It has a lot of information that relates directly to communication studies. But as I said, for our purposes, let's just stick with communication for this assignment. And I'm going to suggest, though for no particular reason, that we pick communication abstracts. Now you'll see two things right away. One, of course, is that I can click on the link, but you'll also see I can connect directly to it. But let's click on the link first of all. What the link demonstrates right away is that there are a lot of different subjects covered in the communication abstracts database. Here's a description, in other words, of the various subject matter that this particular database is interested in. And as I say, you can see that it covers an enormous amount of information related to communication studies. So it also tells me that what's been indexed in this database are articles, reports, papers, and books. It's a very comprehensive database, in other words, for our purposes. So I'm going to connect to that database, which means that I'm going to leave this page and go directly into the page which allows me to do the actual search. This page may look a little bit confusing at first, but in fact it's not that difficult to understand. What it does is it allows you to pick topics for your search, and you can choose to double them up. That is to say, you can say I want to search for two concepts. I can do it as or if I want to make sure I'm eliminating something, I can say not. I'm not going to worry about that for now. That's something you'll learn on your own. I'm just going to go up here to the number one field. That's called a search field. And I'm going to type in Walter Ong because, as I said, we're going to look for articles relating to Walter Ong's theories. Once I've done that, I hit search, and the database will actually begin to look for material and articles related to the theories of Walter Ong, and look what I get. I get a whole series of articles related to the research and ideas and theories relevant to Walter Ong. So let's just go to the very top. One of the things I noticed right away is a very interesting looking article, From Homer to Hip Hop, a tribute to Walter Ong. Now I haven't read this article, but it sounds as though it would be a very interesting one for somebody interested in seeing how Ong's work on orality, as it developed in the ancient world, that's the reference to Homer obviously, translates into contemporary theories and contemporary ideas, and of course that's the relationship to hip-hop. So I might choose to find that article. That might be the one that I'm particularly interested in reading. Alternatively, I might think, well, I'm interested in looking at how Walter Ong's ideas relate to religion, or more particularly, what are the religious foundations of Walter Ong's work. And one of the beauties of this is that different articles will have immediate access. You notice this one has a full PDF text available right there. For the first article, this one up here, I'm going to have to go into the journal Media Development and find the article. That may not be a problem. SFU may not have the article, but at least I know where to get it. This one down here, the Contexts of Faith article, clearly is available through SFU, and so I'm going to click on the PDF full text. That will eventually bring up the article. As you can see, it downloads, and there it is. It's right in my browser, and I can now print the article off. I can read the article right online if I'd rather, but I can quickly determine, in other words, whether or not this is the article that I want to use. So that's how you do it. You simply go to the library's homepage, find the databases, click on Databases for Communication Studies, and begin your search.